Hey everyone, it's LaMont Wheat at Lake August Gardens. Thanks for tuning in. If you are enjoying the information that we're providing on our channel, please give us a subscribe. It really helps us grow. Today, we are going to be planting two of my favorite bulbs for indoors during the winter months. One is the Amaryllis. This is a stargazer Amaryllis. Amaryllis are really fun to plant because they bloom indoors. You can put them in a sunny window and watch them grow. Typically, once you get them in the ground or in the pot, they will start generating roots and they will send up their blooms. They typically bloom about 30 to 45 days after you've planted the bulb. The bloom will last for about 2 to 3 weeks. After they've bloomed, you can actually take those bulbs and plant them out in your gardens, which we'll do a video about that as well. The second bulbs that we're going to plant in the bigger pot will be the daffodils. I love daffodils because they are a sign that spring is imminent. They're one of the first bulbs to bloom outdoors, but you can actually get them to bloom indoors when you pot them up. So we're going to be potting them up, and one of the bases that we're going to be using is some of our organic compost that we build here at Lake August Gardens. Also, we have an abundance of moss that grows back in the cedar forest. Joseph was so helpful to go back and find some for us for this project so that you guys can see how we harvest our moss. You can get it from a couple of different locations. Typically can harvest it from the ground or the side of trees. We have a cedar forest in the back, so we get a lot that grows on the bark of the tree. So first, let's plant our Amaryllis bulb. We're going to use two different mediums. We're going to use our organic compost. So this is our organic compost. If you get in here close, Joseph, you can see we use a lot of debris from our kitchen. We use leaves. After about 6 months, it breaks down and turns into this really nice, rich compost. And then this is just a medium with it has peat moss, topsoil, and vermiculite, which is a little white. So we're going to do a mixture of these. I'm going to fill the pot about 2/3, and then we're going to set the Amaryllis bulb in there. So as you can see, we're going to set the Amaryllis bulb in the top. I'm going to get one more handful of soil, and we're going to pack that around our bulb. Doesn't that look amazing? So once you get your soil in there, Amaryllis bulbs, they really like to have a little bit of the green sticking out. And then you just want to tamp that soil down so that your bulb stays where you want it to stay. Now I'm going to take some of our moss. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm going to take some of our moss and I'm going to just put that around the base of this Amaryllis. That way when we bring it indoors, you won't have that soil looking back at you. You'll actually have that beautiful green. Look at that. Look at that. That beautiful. So we're just going to put that into our pot. I like to get it around the base and then take it on the side. Now, once you get your moss in there, now this moss will continue to grow because as we take it indoors, we kind of left a little bit of the soil on the bottom. When we take it indoors and we water it, the warmth of the inside will create and have that moss growing. So after you get your bulb in the pot, you do want to give it just a nice drink of water. And I'm putting this saucer here. So just give it a little drink of water. And then we'll get this in a sunny window. So with our daffodils, I'm going to put 8 daffodil bulbs in. First, I want to get my medium mix of soil again, which is our mixture of vermiculite with some compost from our garden. I'm going to fill the pot about halfway. So daffodil bulbs typically like to be planted 4 to 8 inches deep. Since we're having these indoors, they won't be as deep. They shouldn't get any impact from the outdoor elements. So you can see I have these about halfway into the pot. So now I'm going to put some more soil just on top. Compost mixed and soil. Okay, so I've topped that off, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the same that you saw us do with the Amaryllis bulb. I'm just going to put some of this moss that we have. Look at that. Beautiful moss. has a little bit of cedar in it, so I'm going to take that out. I take it over the edge and then I refine the edge. Now you can get the moss with no dirt on the bottom, but we have some because I think that just helps with moisture. But we're going to put this in the pot, and then I'm going to... Now what your daffodils are going to do is once we water this in and we get it moist, it will be for these daffodils like they're outdoors. So they're just going to push right through that soil and this moss, and we should have a really nice display. So we're going to give it a little bit of water. This pot does have a liner built into it. So as we water it, it'll just saturate into the soil, and then the rest will be captured in the liner that's built into the pot. Okay, as you guys can see, that's very easy. It takes less than 5 minutes to get your pots planted up. And then we're just gonna move these indoors and put them in a sunny window and watch them grow. We hope that you enjoyed this gardening tip, and we will see you in the next video.